What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dubkast. Welcome to episode 20. That's right, people. We're grinding these episodes out. 2-0. We're approaching. Actually, no, scratch that. We are in December. It is December 1st. You guys will be getting this Friday, December 3rd. So welcome back. We appreciate you guys all hanging with us this entire year. We started this off in March as an idea and a dream, and it's crazy to think here we are creeping into December, and we've almost had a full 9 months of podcasting, and it's been a lot of fun. Had a lot of responses and feedback from you guys, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it and giving us new things to talk about. So, in light of all that, for those of you that are just joining us for the first time, and you guys are checking us out, I am the host, Dirty Assault, otherwise known as Trent, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Toxic Jedi, baby.
That's right. Pick up what? Toxic Jedi. That's Jeremy. He's in his house. And today, we're going to talk about the Steam Awards. For any of you that are on PC, you guys know one of the best places to go for your games is Steam. And every year Steam has an award that they hand out, and you go in and vote on each individual category, and you'll see if who you voted for is the winner and who also maybe came close. So it's kind of exciting. It's your chance as a gamer or a fan of a particular developer or whatnot to kind of go out there and show your support. So for this year's 2021 Game Awards, it was kind of carried over the exact same categories as 2020, if you guys are familiar. Basically, what we got is your typical Game of the Year, VR Game of the Year, Labor of Love Award, Better with Friends Award, Outstanding Visual Style Award, Most Innovative Gameplay Award, and Best Game You Suck At Award. Best Soundtrack Award, Outstanding Story, Rich Game Award, Sit Back and Relax Award. And I think we got a couple more categories that we can add on and kind of riff off of. But I'm excited to get into this, guys, because if there's one thing I love about gaming is seeing the progress that kind of carries over from year to year, and to see where these developers kind of take these games that they work on. For one, I think that one of the games that's not going to be in this year's discussion that I think we all were looking forward to, if you're a PlayStation person in particular, was God of War. That was a game that was going to be released this year. It's getting pushed back to next year. So, there's games like that kind of fell off and kind of got pushed back due to some things. And so what did come out this year was, do we in a whole think that this year was a great year for gaming? And let's not forget, this is December 1st and December 3rd for you guys. There's a lot left, right? We got a whole month left, and so more things are going to be dropping. Some things can change. So let's get into this. First, I want to start off by saying, after Thanksgiving is one of the best times for purchasing video games.
Always.
So Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Yeah, dude. I mean, you as a gamer are looking at every website, right? Because everything is dropping and you're looking for those big buys and big deals. Well, here's something I found interesting, Jeremy, that I wanted to talk to you about. I walked around Target and I was just kind of scouting around. I've been looking for a new system for like a year, and that's kind of why I bunked it down and just decided to play PC this year. One of the things that I noticed is I was looking through these cabinets in the gaming section, and I noticed an Xbox, the Series S, right? And I'm like, they actually have one of those in store? And so I walked up to the clerk there, said, "Hey, would you happen to have the Nintendo, and would you happen to have the PlayStation? Do you have the Switch? Do you have the PS5? What about those?" And he was like, "Well, let me check on that." So he goes and he checks on that. I see the guy at the counter shaking his head. I already know the answer. And he looks over at me. He's like, "What are you looking for, man?" I'm like, "Really? I'm just browsing. I'm looking. I see you guys got the Xbox down here. I was curious if maybe you had the PS5 or the Nintendo Switch." He kind of chuckles a little bit. "Nah, man, we ain't had any of those. We've actually been lucky enough to be able to get some of these Xboxes in." And why I found that to be interesting. I know everybody, you listeners, Jeremy included, are wondering, why am I even bringing this up? What is the point of this story? I'm bringing it up because now that Black Friday, Cyber Monday is over, one console that has emerged as the best selling coming out of that weekend is the Xbox Series S, which I don't think is that big of a surprise, but it was a surprise to me considering that I was able to find it in stores and available, whereas some of these other ones still were not available.
The
And
Series S, that's the like the non-disc one, right? For Xbox.
I think so. I don't think that one. It doesn't look like that one has the disc port,
Okay.
but I can always double check on that. But one of the biggest things with that is, as many of you know, and we have talked about, it's extremely difficult to get any of those online, and to find them in store is even crazier. And I know that they've been getting better at that. Yeah, it doesn't appear that they even have the a disc. No.
Hmm.
But
That wouldn't be too bad.
yeah, and that $300 combined with the Game Pass, it truly is not that shocking to see that was a sought after console. And I think we've talked about that plenty of times, that the Xbox Game Pass is hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I have 3 games I cycle through: Battlefield, Halo, and Forza. 2 of those games are free on Game Pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's crazy to me, is just what they've, and we've talked enough about that. I know I don't want to be, talking, going even more into the Game Pass, but it's clear that the Xbox is gaining a lot of traction this year, because Nintendo and PlayStation, I've always felt, have done really, really well. Now, granted, you take into account, other countries, Japan, and stuff like that. They always drive a lot of sales with the Sony
Yeah.
and Nintendo as well, and others of course as well. But you just kind of think about the fact that Xbox, we're not trying to create that divide on this show, but I'm just saying that it's apparent what was highly sought after and who is doing the right things this year. So I just thought that was important, because when you get into these game awards, it to me, for 2021, I think a lot of those stuff kind of come into play in terms of, well, Sony giving up some of their rights, so Xbox is able to, or Microsoft is able to publish some of those games as well. So some people may be switching to Xbox so that they could still have access to that, but then have access to exclusives that they never used to have. All
Straight
something,
burn them.
yeah, yeah, all something to think about. All things that we've talked about, but let's get into this stuff, because I don't want to take up too much time. So let's loop around and do Game of the Year last.
I'm down.
Okay, because Game of the Year is one that I feel like every other category has its rightful place to almost be Game of the Year, right?
Yeah.
If it's able to claim this category or this category, it has a rightful claim to be, okay, Game of the Year. And it's clearly got some features in it. Now, one of the ones I struggled on, and I really don't have anything for, this would be really just like a click and go kind of thing for me, was VR Game of the Year. I don't have a VR. I know you do,
Yeah.
and you've been able to experience some of that. So I kind of wanted to lean on you and what you thought about VR Game of the Year award and where you kind of had some things listed. Now I do know that there are some games this year that came out with some big VR, and so I'm sure that there's definitely some that it's not like a year that's just kind of vacant in this category. So I know that there's some definitely probably some heavy hitters out there. So what in your mind do you see? Now for anybody that's not, familiar, the VR Game of the Year this is all read off of Steam, okay? This is all coming from them. VR Game of the Year award. The VR Game of the Year isn't merely masquerading as a regular reality. This game improves on reality, takes advantage of the medium of VR, and pushes the boundaries of the virtual realm. What in your eyes do you see as something that could enter into that category?
Well, I'll tell you this, dude. I that one was really hard for me because I had like 6 picks.
Yeah.
VR really popped off this year. They took advantage of the whole gunplay, you know. I will say though, the game that I picked for this is Population 1.
Can you? Yeah, you'll have to explain that one. I've never heard of it.
Population 1 is a battle royale.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, like you jump out of the plane and everything with VR on, you're like fucking cheeks flapping. You hit the ground and run for a gun, dude. Oh man. I can only play about 1 round and then I'm like just, riddled with bullets and sweating.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But-
think I saw some of that. It's not going to be something that's like highly like realistic terrain looking. Wouldn't it more set like a battle, like an arena that's got like like different like shapes or stuff that you can climb, just like typical like rectangular buildings and
yeah, it was like geometric kind of looking.
yeah, it wasn't anything that was meant to look like, oh, you're out in a field somewhere.
Right. No, and I think they did that because could you imagine doing like a Warzone size map on VR? That would just be too overwhelming.
Yeah,
But no, for the first successful VR like battle royale, that game hits the spot.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, especially with battle royales being so hot right now.
Yeah.
Now
You'll have to come over and play it so I can watch.
Oh, dude, I'm totally down because I have not experienced VR yet at all.
Really?
At all. Never went to never been to a mall where someone's got a VR headset and I tried it on. I've never once put on a VR headset.
Dude, you should say something. Mine's literally like I can be on it right now while we do this.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. Now, I want to check it out in particular because of if I had to vote, and listen, guys, you just heard me say this, so you understand I'm coming from a naive place. If I had to vote on something that I saw that looked like it would be good, this is not from experience, and I just had to go give somebody a vote, and maybe with me saying this, you're going to be like, dude, that game was terrible. Why would you even vote for that? It's because I don't know. I'm just going based on looks. One of the biggest games I saw that was really advertised that looked like a lot of fun was Star Wars Squadrons, and I think that would be kind of cool to check out. And that's a VR game, so I might vote for that. I have played Subnautica, and Subnautica has a VR mode that came out, I guess, as well this year. And
you always got the classic Beat Saber.
Yeah, Beat Saber. But I don't know if that came out this year or if they came out with a update this year or whatnot. But those games always look killer. I always see people.
Yeah, I own it. I wish you had told me that. I would have brought it over to our Friendsgiving.
Oh, dude, 100%. That would have been a lot of fun. So I definitely think that if I had to vote on something, it would be that. Another Star Wars game. It looks like Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series.
That one's a great game.
I think that's the one I seen where people would be like, vroom, and
you just grab people.
Chop someone's head. Okay, no, I'm voting on that one. That one I have seen. That one, yes, that one gets my vote.
That one I have personally body slammed Yoda and then like
Dude,
stabbed him
come
in the
on.
back. Yeah, his little
Yeah,
ass was
I
like, "Yo,
see.
what's
I
up?" And I
see
was just
people
like,
like throwing the lightsaber and chopping someone's head off, and then they're like,
"Yeah,
they like bring it back.
dude, yeah, it's so crazy, man." It is
That
there's
game, yeah, that game, 100%. I vote for
what,
that.
like I said, VR has popped off this year. It's
Yeah,
very
I
hard.
mean, there's definitely been a lot of cool, innovative games in VR that we've seen kind of across the board. Really, just everybody that can get their hands on a model of their game. We saw Skyrim kind of come out with a VR,
Yeah,
not necessarily this year. I think that was last year, but Jurassic Park came out with a game for
yep.
VR. There's flight simulators that came out with VR.
Oh, that
So
would be terrifying.
so everybody's really just kind of trying to tap into VR.
Yeah.
So the next award, and this one, I think that you're going to be surprised with some of my answers. But this one I really tried thinking about. Okay. And some of these, I just, because I want to start this, I want to have this discussion where we kind of dive in a little bit to some of these games and why we think they're deserving.
Okay.
The next award is Labor of Love Award. This game has been out for a while. The team is well past the debut of their creative baby, but being the good parents they are, the devs continue to nurture and support their creation. This game, to this day, is still getting new content after all these years. There's two games that came to my mind that I thought were well deserving of this. And remember, this is completely biased, right? That's what the Steam Awards are.
Bro, I swear to God, if you say Call of Duty, bro.
For Labor of Love, I think. Let me give you mine, because, and then I'll say what you, and then I'll see what your choice is, because I
Okay.
think that one of my choices might be what your choice is.
I
So I'm gonna
really
go
doubt
with,
it.
huh?
I said I really doubt it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, maybe, but for Labor of Love, I think my top choice is Rainbow Six, and the Rainbow Six Siege. Now, the
Yeah.
reason I say this is because there is no other game that I feel like the developers have put more content into after giving their word. Now, I'm not, listen, there's a lot of games that get a lot of updates and stuff like that. But when Rainbow Six Siege was released, they said that they wanted to make it a 10-year game. How
Yeah.
many games really do that?
Yeah.
Very, very few. And like clockwork, every year they drop a couple seasons of Rainbow Six where they're dropping new, whatever you want to call them, heroes, characters, attackers, defenders. They're
Yeah.
always dropping new guys. They're dropping new maps. And for what it is, look, Rainbow Six is recognized as a esport game. I mean, it has a very big competitive field, and I think that a lot of that has to do with the dedication and constant developing of that game, and the constant nurturing, if you will, of that game. So that was my vote, and that's what I think I would have to say, and that's from personal experience. There's a lot of games I haven't played, but for me, that was a game that I felt like years and years and years of time have gone into that game, and it just seems like they just continue going in through this year to update and make it better, and continue to make it a great game for the esport world and just for the average casual player as well.
Yeah, dude, no, that's actually like a very good pick, honestly. That what was your second choice? You said you had two.
I do have two, but do you want me to say my second choice before
This
you?
motherfucker's about to say Warzone, y'all.
No, do you want me to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
My second choice was Destiny 2. And,
Holy shit.
and look, this is a game I have not played, but from watching you play, look, let me just get it out there. I didn't play it because Destiny, it just really isn't my thing. I just don't have the time to pump into a game like that, but I'm willing to accept change and recognize those games for what they are. And watching your like live streams of playing that game with friends, watching some of the content that we've released through this podcast, with the Witch Queen
Mhm.
that's going to be dropping soon. It really does seem like a game that in its initial drop did not do very good, and they've completely turned that game into a very, very highly sought after game, and it's free. And
Yeah.
so that alone, I think that the developers have really taken time to correct their wrongdoings and make it a game that is, better. And, especially when you kind of consider the amount of backlash it got when it first dropped, it's really impressive to see how much it's picked up. And you can notice
Yeah.
that just from like, the Steam, like to see how the community is reacting to that game. It's pretty big. And so I thought that was my second choice as that game. And I have a third choice down just from kind of scoping through and thinking of other games that might be fitting of that. But what were you thinking?
Well, I had like one big choice and I had two runner-ups, like very close. So I'm gonna tell you the runner-ups first.
Okay.
Rainbow Six Siege, because the outbreak mode was insane.
Yeah, and before, sorry to cut you off. I
Yeah,
want to say this too. Rainbow Six Siege did such a good job at doing of developing that game and continuing to bring new ideas to that game that they literally basically built an entire spin-off
yeah,
from that game. And that's the Extraction.
yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So yeah, Rainbow Six Siege. That's why I was like shook. Uh, my second one is actually off the beaten path. It's actually No Man's Sky.
I was literally thinking about that too because they did a big 180.
Yeah, yeah.
It,
Shit game when it came out.
oh man, they promised everybody multiplayer, and we're all like, I don't
Yeah,
see you,
where's
bro.
yeah,
I
and
don't
they're
see
like,
you.
well, it would take like
I'm right
180
here.
years.
Yeah. Like just you're flying around in your little ship, and you're like, there's no way anybody is here. Yes,
Right,
someone's in my solar system. Where?
right. And I do love that game now though. It's so good.
Yeah. Then they said you'd be able to build, and you get into the world, and all you could do is just like with your little plasma cannon, like shoot and blow like the ground up. Like this is sick. I'm building a cave.
Yeah, Minecraft. Okay, so my absolute top, the one that took my vote was Destiny 2.
I figured that's why I was like, bro, I think that maybe you should just do it.
Yeah, no, you definitely threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting you to pick Destiny. That's insane.
I took into a lot of consideration what you had said about the game, and I could tell that game I could tell they did a lot of good things with it
Yeah,
from when it was originally released.
you should really check it out when Witch Queen drops. You got till February.
Yeah, got time, got time. Well, I had a second runner-up option too. I do really love the fact that you picked. It's kind of scary because I almost picked No Man's Sky as my third option. If we would have the same top three options, that would have been out of the park. Like what?
Yeah.
So I like No Man's Sky, and just because we didn't really preface, No Man's Sky did make it to where now everything's multiplayer. You can actually build your own base. You can have your own home base. You can build portals and connect them between different planets or solar systems so that you can travel and actually have multiple home bases so that you don't feel like you're going so far away that, it's too much of a travel to get back.
Yeah.
And they've done a lot of good things. And that game alone, I think, is just really well done in terms of maybe even potentially some of these other categories. But for sure, they definitely took the time to fix that because the creator that got a lot of flack for lying to
Yeah, he
everybody.
got some death threats, I heard.
Yeah, he lied to everybody when that dropped. But my third option that I kind of had thought about, and again, this is another game I haven't played, but I'm always listening and checking out what people recommend and what they talk about. And we had a streamer on that talked about this particular game, and it made me really think about it. With my third option for Labor of Love award, I had Dead by Daylight 2, a game that they put some time into and dropped an update for, and made it really fun and interactive. I know this is a game that you played, the multiplayer and stuff like that.
Yeah, my grandma's ranked on Dead by Daylight.
Don't mess with Toxic Jedi's grandma. You want to get slapped by grandma?
Yeah. Don't mess with Nana, bro. I don't know the ranking system, but I guarantee you, I go over there and she's playing that damn game all the time. She's got the generators. Like, it's not even fun anymore. Like, she's just zoned out.
She's just slapping you.
Yeah, like just. And have you seen those videos where they like do the circle and juke the killer? She does that. She does that.
She needs to be the next tactical grandma.
She has a stream. I told her, I was like, you should stream this game. You're that good at it.
Yeah.
It's like Gamer Nana or something.
All right. So if you aren't out there getting smacked by Jeremy or Toxic Jedi's grandma, we can dive into this next one. I'm excited to hear this next category because I think that me and you are going to have some of the same similar games, but better with friends award. There are some games out there that just aren't the same when you play by yourself. Maybe you need to have a friend to watch your back. Maybe you need to have a friend that you can stab in their back. Either way, fun is awaiting those who gather friends together, play this game. Either way, fun is awaiting those who gather their friends together to play this game. So I have 4 that I thought were fitting of this. So I don't know how many you had, but I want to go from experience with this one to say what I think is my number 1 pick. Actually, I'll say one of my runner-ups. How many runner-ups do you have?
I just got 2. So I got 1 main, 1 runner-up.
Okay. We'll do a runner-up, and then I'll do my other runner-ups, and then you can do your... Okay? So one of my runner-ups, I think I put down as House of Ashes. This is one that me and you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like so much fun if you watch videos of people playing this. And we talked about the home theater mode being like a great option for a bunch of friends coming over, and you literally can play the story with 4 friends as a couch co-op, which we've talked about many times as being kind of a dead idea.
Yeah,
those couch co-ops. So I definitely had that one down as maybe a better with friends game.
Yeah, I saw it on there. I almost voted for that too.
Yeah. It is close. So what was one of your, or what was your runner-up?
My runner-up was Sea of Thieves. And the only reason I even added it to like this one's because it just had a big update.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if like we were counting that, but bigger updates count for me.
They count. They definitely count if games have like a big significant update or something in that year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely Sea of Thieves was my runner-up.
I like that because that was one that I really enjoyed playing with you, but I could definitely see Sailing on the Ocean Blue being a little bit boring if you don't have a companion with you to overthrow ships.
Dude,
or else
someone has to have the accordion, someone has to have the drum, the lute, and the harmonica.
I thoroughly enjoyed that game. That game was a lot of fun. I'd love to get back into it.
Me too.
Other runner-ups, I had Battlefield 2042 as one of them. This one I just really put down because I do find it really hard for me to play this game by myself a lot of times. It's just such a squad-based game, and a game in which a lot of your objectives really require a lot of team effort in order to be successful. And so I thought it was a lot more of one of those games that could definitely be classified as better with friends.
Yeah.
My other runner-up, I basically had it as a runner-up because I hadn't played it. I'm worried this might be something you might have, but for my back, this one I think could definitely win it. But as my backup, I have It Takes Two. And
Oh, dude, I didn't even think of that.
yeah, that is a game that is
Oh,
literally built off of having a friend. So
yeah. Such a good game. Yeah, I changed my answer. That's my other runner up. I'll keep my main the same.
yeah, yeah. I thought that that was a really well done game.
Yeah.
And when I grew up in an era that we had Little Big Planet and I'm trying to think that there was another game. I don't think Rayman was like that, but there was a game that was like that where you kind of had to have another person. You had to be doing something at the same time in order to kind of help people. But anyways, besides the point, It Takes Two is exactly like that. You need
Yeah.
that friend to help you out, just like a Little Big Planet. You need somebody to pull the lever to drop the bridge so that you can jump on the bridge where they can lift you up once they let go so that you can go grab the other one to drop the bridge to pick them up to take them over. One of those games, a lot of complex puzzles in which you do need friends in order to be
Yeah.
successful. So I thought that was a great runner up. And in a lot of regards, I think it could technically take the cake this year because I think a lot of people enjoyed it.
That one really could. That was an excellent game.
Now, from my own experience, if I was to vote my Better Friends award, and if that It Takes Two wasn't the winner, I think this one might be the winner for you. But my best Better with Friends award for this year, my vote goes with Back for Blood. It was just an incredibly fun game that I enjoyed, but I enjoyed it most when I was playing with my friends. It was a lot of fun to just get those Left 4 Dead vibes back, and enjoyed the multiplayer where you're going against people. Just the sheer screaming of your friends, like, oh my God, what is that? That was so much fun. So again, I think that It Takes Two or Back for Blood really could go either place for me, but I just felt like I gave Back for Blood the benefit of the doubt since I actually played it. So, but that's my Better with Friends award for this year. What about you?
My number one pick was Battlefield 2042.
Okay.
And as soon as I read the title, my initial thought was no one wants to play as the fucking medic. So you always got to pack that one guy who's down with the defibrillators.
No kidding. It is one of those games in which you can either watch your friends back or stab your friends,
stab them in the
back. Yeah.
Yo,
medic!
Yeah.
Help!
Yeah, and they made it. They put like so many voice quips now.
Like, oh, thank God, medic! Just runs right past you. You literally have the cross above you. You can literally pick me up. Everyone has defibrillators now.
And then in 2042, they updated it to where if you just like hold A, it's like, go on without me.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though I don't necessarily agree with this option. I can't tell you how many times I've been trampled by people in that game while I'm sitting there. Just defibrillate me.
Yeah,
what is going
I know.
On here?
I know. Literally, I pack an LMG, dude. I could save your fucking life if you just pick me up. And then they just like sit there and you see them like popping the ledge and shooting. You just like, oh wow, you really could have used some backup.
Yeah, the only time you get picked up is when you're in the heat of like explosions and stuff. So
I know.
Boom.
Yeah, the helicopter just blows you up again.
I caught a stream of somebody playing that game the other day, and I about threw up because this dude was a helicopter pilot. Mm-hmm. He had so many viewers watching him, and to see how easy it was for him to fly the helicopter. I mean, I'm talking, dude, this guy was like swooping in around the building, just shooting the bottom floor and then backing out, like flying around, coming back down, coming in, like flying in at an angle to where he was like under like the trusses and shit of this building and just like swoop. I was like, I'm going to throw up. How the hell does somebody get this good at flying helicopters? Yeah, it is beyond me because I'm crashing into buildings.
Well, you guys already saw my playthrough of flying a jet. So
yeah. So Outstanding Visual Style Award is our next award, and this particular award was really interesting to me because I didn't really know where I wanted to go with it. Visual style doesn't aspire to real-world graphical fidelity, Though a noble goal in itself, it describes a distinctive look and feel that suffices an entire game. I think I'm butchering that. But anyways, so outstanding visual style. Uh, couple ways we could go here. I had a couple options, and I don't really know how I feel about really either of these options. So I'm curious to see your opinion first on this one, and I'll kind of bounce off of you with some of these options. I've never really played a couple of them, but just watching, gameplay footage of them, I was really taken away by what they were able to do. So I thought,
Yeah.
but I'm curious maybe for some stuff that you played, what you thought.
Oh, dude, I only picked one on this one, and it was such an easy decision as soon as read the question.
Mm-hmm.
Far Cry 6. Beautiful game, dude. Like just beautiful. And you don't have like the same shit. Like Battlefield looks good too, but I didn't go with Battlefield because at the ending cutscenes they had it to where like you had Minecraft characters walking up. Like their engines could not handle it. But Far Cry's engine was just so beautiful. I mean, and I'm playing on Ultra. So you got like the sun beaming down, the light reflecting off the water, and that's what's blinding you, bro. Beautiful fucking game.
Yeah. I definitely would agree with that option. I think that Far Cry 6, from what I've even seen, just really, really beautiful. You can tell that they take the time, that's just important as the gameplay.
Yeah. I mean,
I
when you have a game that's like heavy on story like that, you need the world to match the story.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, this is if I had to really pick one that I playing thought was just outright just really beautiful for visual style in particular, I think I would go with Forza Horizon 5 on
Yeah.
this one.
Oh yeah.
Now, some other ones that I think are going to be strong competitors this year, because I haven't played them, but a lot of people, kind of reading up on some of this stuff, really seem to like. I think that this could even potentially be some games that we look into and maybe need to look into, because I heard from a lot of these like Steam awards, really trying to read up on some of these games that have come out to like refresh my memory. There were some of these games that I was reading. I'm like, man, maybe I need to go back and play them, because a lot of people are vouching for them. One of those for visual style award, because I want to be able to give some of these other games credit. I went and watched some, videos of some gameplay footage and stuff, just so I could see if like I felt like it was really befitting. Psychonauts 2 was one that people said was really worthy of this. It was I believe the creator behind this is like the same people that made I'm trying to think of what the movie was, but I'll have to look that up. But and then another one was the Loop Hero game, and I've heard a lot of people say some good stuff about Loop Hero. So definitely some games that we might have to check out,
Yeah.
especially because they're more storyline based games than they are like really worrying about multiplayer. So
Right. No, I think Forza is the also a very good pick. Oh man, just cars in general are just so fucking beautiful.
Forza in particular, because there's so many guys. I really do challenge you to go do this. Go look at some of these pictures that people have taken in Forza. You're like, there is no way that's a photo
Yeah, it looks like
of a
it's
video
real
game.
life.
It
Yeah.
it looks so realistic. You would be blown away.
Hmm. Dude, I wonder if hold on a second. I took a very good
So
photo.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was
You're
looking
good.
into so the designer of Psychonauts 2 is Zach McClendon, who is got a lot of games that he's kind of helped out with. it looks like he's been involved in like BioShock 2 as well. So,
Okay.
that being another game that really beautiful, but so I don't know. I thought I was reading on some of the designer being pretty accredited for stuff that they've done. So I just thought I'd mention it. Like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about those games, but if I had to go from my own personal point of preference and experience, I think that for sure Forza.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a very tough time on that one.
Yeah, it's mainly because it's like they try to steer you away from picking a game that is like realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and I would have said like games like Borderlands, like something that just has its own unique style and it just like is beautiful in its own right. But Borderlands didn't come out this year.
Yeah.
So,
I really wanted to pull up. I'm looking right now at Forza Horizon 5 pictures, but I just don't think that it would do it justice because I just think that you really kind of have to watch or the game yourself because some of these
yeah,
pictures on Google are not going to give it any sort of justice if I'm being honest.
I need to send you the picture that I took of I took it of my F100. And dude, like it's just I don't know. It looks like one of those pictures that you see on TikTok where they're like, "Oh, this isn't even real."
Yeah, no kidding. I seen one that it's like the side reflection of the car, and it just
Yeah,
looks like glass, and then it just looks like concrete, and it's just it. There's it just really kind of when you're looking at it, no way this is a video game.
yeah.
You're just baffled. Like there's no way that could be.
The F100 picture I took, dude, I took it from the perspective like the driver headlight looking
Mhm.
down the side, and I had it like cherry red with black 5-point rims, and it was like raining, so there's raindrops
Mm.
on the fucking truck, and then it was like black asphalt with fresh paint. Oh, dude, it looks so good. I was like, I'm about to make this my screensaver.
Yo, dude, is that your car? Nah, my car in a
Nah,
video game.
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
not a video game. It is.
yeah,
So, most innovative gameplay award. The designers of this game are at the front line of creative experimentation, bringing a fresh perspective and brain-breaking surprises. This game delighted, inspired, and entertained with newness never played before. This one, I think I'll shock you with because I was really trying to think of a game that did something different that
yeah,
that people didn't really think about, and there's probably some out there that I really missed big time. But for this one, I went with Knockout City. And I know that probably sounds crazy, but I thought Knockout City did a really cool thing. And a lot of people played the free little trial that they had, but Knockout City was a game that play team versus team dodgeball, but you can pick up these certain balls that do certain things. Like you had one that was basically a football that was like a sniper, one that was a bomb, one that would throw the other team into like a little police jail ball like type thing, and so they were trapped in it, they couldn't get out. You could throw your friends as a ball. There was just a lot of like creative things that they did with that game that I really enjoyed, and it was a lot of fun. It was another one that's great to play with friends. And for 2021, for just a team of developers that really did something different that I'd never really experienced before, and I thought that they really delivered well. And they made it fun because it was a game in which you could create or, you know, accessorize your character. I thought that
yeah,
that was a lot of fun too. I don't know if you ever got around to playing Knockout City, but it was really a lot of fun. And it was actually a game I bought because the free trial was so much fun for the limited amount of time that they provided it.
yeah. I actually did not play that game, but I heard a lot of positive reviews. Like it was hardly ever negative. I think
Yeah.
that was like right around the time when I was like doing the full transition to PC.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those games that I think as we get towards these other awards that it could even maybe go into another classification. It's just different, and
Yeah.
different in a sense that like we all enjoy Rocket League because of its ability to be different. And when it came out, it was like, whoa, no one's done this before.
Yeah.
Everyone's played soccer, everybody's drove in cars. Now you can combine them. I felt like Knockout City did that. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's played dodgeball, but how do you create a fun interactive dodgeball game? I felt like they did it.
Did you have any runner ups to it?
Not for this one, mainly because I was really just thinking hard on like a game that really just all out did something different that
Yeah.
hasn't really been done.
Right. Well, my pick actually was a Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Dude, that is a great choice.
Like, I mean, I'm sure somewhere in video game history they had a race car game for Hot Wheels. I know it's around somewhere.
Hmm.
But with today's graphics, they really did an insane amount for the track, and they have every single Hot Wheels car to ever exist in the game.
Really? And what's
Yeah,
that
so
on?
that's on all. That's on PC, PS4, Xbox, everything.
Man,
It
I need to
it
download that.
dropped.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude, it dropped like maybe a month or two ago.
No kidding. It's fairly new.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, dude, for it looks good, like clean and crisp. I was actually looking into it to get it on the Switch so me and Ben can play it together. But, that would always turn out bad because I had no mercy.
Yeah. Another game I think now that I'm kind of thinking of that I feel like could really plug in there too that I played this year. I don't know if I don't think it came out this year. I think it came out like a year ago, but Hypercharge that I played this year was really cool, and it was a game that I don't feel like they've done real well in quite a while,
Hmm.
and they found a way to make toy soldiers and interactive multiplayer
Yeah,
and stuff like that into a really fun game. I
that
had a
game
lot of
was a
fun
lot of
playing it.
fun.
Yeah. Just the demo is a lot of fun. You're like freaking out trying to put up like all these things to hold these like toys back, and you're like protecting one little zone, and then all of a sudden it's like bees being attacked. You turn around and it's like sitting there like attacking, and then it gets like super intense towards the end of the demo, like aliens are flying in and you can't hit it. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Like it just
the
got intense.
UFO and the bouncy balls are just flying around.
Yeah. Never would have thought bouncy balls could be so scary, but they're
Yeah.
literally whooping me, whooping you.
Yeah. No,
Those are
that's
both.
actually a good one.
Yeah, I think that yours is a really good one because I haven't played it, but it's one of those games that I, I think it has a great market too, where
Yeah.
kids can play that. Even us as nostalgic adults that I
Yeah.
collected Hot Wheels when I was young, to be able to go in and find some of the Hot Wheels I collected, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was getting on it. Like that's a real game that like satisfies collectors. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
for sure. Uh so next one, best game you suck at. Jeremy, I'm sure you got a long list for this one. But but this game that rewards persistence and is not for the faint of heart, it's the toughest game we've ever loved. I'm just gonna say it. I picked Warzone, and it's because I know that it seems cliche, but I mean honestly, dude, think of a game that pissed you off more this year that you kept going back to
that
more
is a
than
fair. Yeah, that's a
you know
fair point.
the amount of times. I mean, think about the win ratio for like an average gamer like us, not some of those like crazy super good like here's your loadout you guys want to rock, here's what I mean, that for I mean we were maybe getting one win like every other day, or sometimes it'd be a couple days before we get one. And
Whoa, dude! I was dropping 2 a night, easy, bro. Just not when I played with you.
right when you got off and played with bots. But I just think that best game I suck at for sure from this year, even though
Yeah.
I kind of like hopped off that train. But with that, Warzone just did a big update, or excuse me, they're about to do a big update and
Yeah.
add in a new map as well. So it's a game that it has been really good at having longevity, and it's really good at keeping people in it no matter how big the skill gap may be, especially with the amount of hackers in it.
Oh,
People still go back and play it. So that's my best game I suck at award.
yeah, no, that I honestly think that's a pretty good answer. I didn't think of it like that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had 3 games in mind.
Oh, cool. I'm excited to hear it because I only had one. I was like, nope, I know what game I suck at that I didn't that I was
So my runner up that I was just thinking of is Dark Souls 1, who got a remaster.
Oh,
Ha-
fair point.
Hands down the hardest Dark Souls to play. I have not played the remastered, but I did play the original and hated my life for it. I think that's the only Dark Souls I've never beaten.
I've never played any of them. The only one I have, I was looking over here at my shelf. I bought Dark Souls 3.
That's a perfect one to start at.
That was the one me and you bought together. Remember?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
play. We never did. I never made it past like the first part.
Yeah. Yeah, Dark Souls 3, you got to fight a boss to start. And you
Yeah.
actually have to beat it. The other ones, you die and it's like, oh, here's the actual start.
hmm
My second runner up was the precursor to Dark Souls 1, which is Demon Souls. That game, that like how you said you can't even get past the first boss, I can't even get past the fucking tutorial in that game. Like
Yeah.
it's just so brutally hard. And my top pick, and it's actually easier than those two, but it's more relatable because Dark Souls is a very, very fine taste.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil Village.
Oh, okay.
Very I found that game very difficult. Like I don't know. I just couldn't stop staring at the vampire chicks. I don't know. I thought it was an excellent game because it's like, man, I really just because they do a perfect. I don't how like in tune with the Resident Evil game story are you?
I'm not very in tune, but it's interesting that you say that because I had made a post today asking some people to reach out, and I actually did have somebody reach out to us, and he actually mentioned Resident Evil Village, not in the same light, but gave some pretty good insight on that particular subject.
Yeah. Well, I just love the reason why it pulls me back so much is because it comes full circle with like the characters and how they play into the story.
Oh, okay, so
Because like we'll say I'm not sure where it falls in on the timeline, but I want to say that Village feeds into like Resident Evil 1 or 4 or something like that. Like it just feeds into that. So I don't know. I also have like a soft spot for Resident Evil.
oh, for sure, man. Yeah, I had reached out. I made a post. I asked if anybody wanted to comment what they thought was their best game of the year.
Mhm.
And since you're bringing it up, my one of my buddies had commented, and he said Resident Evil Village just sucks they didn't make it scary except for one part. And so I was a little curious, and I said I'm surprised, that you would say that because I know that there are some people that did find it scary, but he is an avid like horror game player. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what he plays. He's a huge collector of these games, dude. And he sent me some pictures, and it's crazy, dude. He's got all the Silent Hills. He's got like all the Resident Evils. He's got some of these other games that he was telling me are like extremely hard to find now.
Yeah.
And so just showing me this huge collection. So just know it's coming from there. But yes, I was asking him a little bit about it. And he said it was more like horror themed. He said, but there's 4 main bosses, and only one of them is actually creepy or scary. It's kind of like how they made Resident Evil 4, more action, still
Hmm.
very good. It can be tense. You should absolutely play it, but I would recommend finishing 7 first. There is one story part that definitely hits you different if you finish 7.
Yeah.
So
Agreeable.
yeah, so that's what he had said. So maybe you can kind of speak to that with what you were saying.
Yeah, no, I mean it goes perfectly in suit. Like the story in that game is just so rich. And then once you like complete it all, it goes full circle into the old games that we all played,
Yeah,
which is a pretty cool aspect.
Resident Evil, I feel like, has always done a pretty good job. I mean, but I'm saying that, and I like the most hated game that they've ever released. So
I mean, 5 was good. I don't see why people hate it so much.
yeah, I loved it. That was like such a fun game for me. I was like, maybe I can play horror games, and that one was like all action, more of a
Yeah.
zombie game. Just like Dead by Daylight, or not Dead by Daylight, but yeah, whatever. Running around with your shotgun, and I don't know. I enjoyed it, but
Chris
I
is in 7.
yeah. Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
spoiler alert.
It'd be cool if they remastered all of those and just let you play them all from one.
They did remaster 1.
Well, I mean, like all of them though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
Like just so you can play them. I mean, you probably
no.
can still access them though through like Steam or something.
I mean, 5 and 6, their graphics are still relatively good. And then 1 got the remaster. And then play 7, please. I want to see you stream Resident Evil 7 and just see that dude just fucking just charge through the wall at you. And see
You're gonna
what
see
you
me
do.
cry. I'm already bad enough at these games. But
Yeah. Couch co-op then. We'll do it. We'll do it together.
fair enough. We'll stream it together.
Yeah.
Trying to move right along, guys. Best soundtrack award. This unsung hero deserves to be recognized for an outstanding musical score. It's the OST with the most. So this one I was really trying to think about, because I think that there's a lot of games that have good soundtrack, and the more that I read up on this particular category, the more I realized a lot of people were really trying to give games credit that weren't using like popular songs. So like for instance, I think that Madden has a good soundtrack, but Madden uses a lot of today's hip hop, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, as their playlist. So it's not really like somebody composed a soundtrack for this particular game or
Yeah.
anything like that. So I feel like the one that I would have picked as one of my top, I had 3 as one of my top games for the best soundtrack. Also, if we're looking at it in that way, probably can be counted out because they do use some popular music. But I picked Forza because I thought Forza did have like a really good soundtrack. It's got the radio is
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
You were speaking to that the other day when we were playing, but since this game got a new season, I honestly think that it could be one of the best soundtracks, and that I picked Rocket League as well.
Dude, Rocket League soundtrack is so nice with it, bro.
Dude, every season they drop, it's so
Dude,
good.
that one season where they like played screamo music, like screamo dubstep, I
Yeah.
was just like, bro, I am not playing anything else. He's like, welcome to the end game. It was like, oh, dude, I'm about to play some ranked.
Yeah,
Like,
we're all
I'm
playing.
about to- yeah. No, that is such a good game, dude. Because I literally turned up the music and I had it playing through matches. Like
Yeah,
it never turned off. So
that's
good.
awesome. Yeah, that was my choice. For
But-
sure. Like the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Rocket League is good about
Dude.
getting like those smaller, like indie songs and stuff like that, throwing them in
Yeah.
there. So
Dude, they single-handedly got Monster Cat like famous.
really,
He made all of their dubstep. and it was just like some kid in the basement just like turning it. And he's like, "Yo, this shit sounds sick."
Yeah. Yo, dude,
And
let's go.
yeah, and now like he's popping off with concerts and shit, and he's got like a free fucking deal with Rocket League and all kinds of stuff, dude.
That's dope. That's cool that they were able to do that for him.
Yeah, I think it was like two birds, one stone. It just worked out.
So, what were you thinking for best soundtrack?
Oh, now I'm really sad I didn't choose Rocket League.
That's
Well,
what's fun about this. We didn't speak on this at all. I was like, dude, don't tell me any of your thoughts because I want to see how alike
yeah,
we are.
yeah. I mean, we're always on the same wavelength, I'm sure. So, runner up was definitely Forza because of the mixed like dubstep of popular songs I really liked.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I can't say it now, but Rocket League would have been my pick if I would have just sat down and thought about it.
Yeah.
But I actually, for my top, and I actually had to switch it up because Steam wouldn't let you pick like the same one for two.
Yeah. I know.
So that was kind of weird. But so I actually put Beat Saber as my top pick
Okay.
because I mean, perfect music game. Doesn't really play popular music unless you buy it. Like it has its own dubstep, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
But my main pick would have been Far Cry 6.
I have another game that I know you played that is also a runner up for me. I didn't play it, but I wanted to bring it up because through things that I read, people said that it was definitely the best soundtrack. So you'll be able to speak to it. But for my third option, I had Cyberpunk 2077.
Jesus Christ, dude. I didn't oh my god. Bro, what? Yeah, that one was so sick, dude.
Yeah, no.
Oh fuck, man. I did not do this right. Oh my god. Fuck Far Cry. Oh,
He's like, screw my options.
dude. Well, music. I did I struggled with music in the graphics one.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. Because it's like every game tries to do like the best graphics, so it's like hard to choose
yeah.
what one you think is the best. And then with soundtracks, it's like how many soundtracks do you really
Okay,
remember?
dude. Yeah, man. I can't have that many runner-ups. So we'll just say I never said Far Cry. I mean, it is really good. Listen to it. I'm gonna go Rocket League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk though, dude. Like, have you listened to the
I
music on
haven't.
Cyberpunk?
I haven't. I just know a lot of people
Bruh,
vouched for it, and I knew you
dude.
played it. So if you didn't bring it up, I definitely wanted to bring it up.
You have to like dubstep. I will say that you have to like dubstep. If you like dubstep, fuck, you can just play them. I got banned from playing it on stream,
Yeah.
but I love the music in that game. Oh, dude, yeah. You get in the car and it's just like, bro, it's like so grunge metal. Like some dude with a deep ass voice. Like, oh man, yeah. Dude's like, yo, get the fuck up, samurai. Yeah, dude. Okay, let's go on. Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
I feel
So,
dumb.
outstanding story rich game award. Some days only a narrative heavy game will hit the spot, and this one packs a wallop. It's as gripping as a soap opera and as well tuned as a prestige TV screenplay. Bravissimo for making us feel things. So, for this one, I had two in particular. Again, I haven't played either one, and then I have two that I read upon that I think are worth mentioning because a lot of people vouched for him. For my outstanding story rich game award, I picked Far Cry 6 as my top one, mainly because I just know about Far Cry games, and from what I've heard from you and what I've seen from my buddy that posts a lot of the storyline stuff on TikTok. I watched a lot of his stuff, and it looked like really fun and a good mix of adventure, comedy, and free roam. So I
Yeah.
thought that definitely, and being a Far Cry game, it almost seems like it's a given that could be one.
Dude, I one thing I will say about that is Far Cry 6 has the most fucked up ending in all the Far Cries. Like
You
all of
finally
them.
beat it.
Yeah, I wish I didn't, but yeah.
Oh God.
So I don't even want to
Well,
talk about it, dude. Yeah.
well, my runner up was a game I hadn't played either, but I really, really want to. I'm really thinking about playing it because, from what I've heard, is it is really good, and the story is really, really well done. But Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, I've heard a lot of good reviews on that game, and I've heard that this it is a story rich game that does a really good job. My other two were ones I haven't played, but I just wanted to bring up to give you guys kind of thoughts of what other people in the community are thinking. If you're thinking about maybe a game that's got a story rich, uh, or outstanding story, Scarlet Nexus and Psychonauts 2 were also pretty well talked about. So maybe think about some of those.
I have seen a lot of stuff on the Psychonauts.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be like kind of disappointed. But I had shit, what was my I had two runner ups and one winner. I can't remember. I think Far Cry 6 was my runner up,
Mm-hmm.
but you just can't pick more than one. Cyberpunk was my other runner up. I just did not think of the music, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the story in Cyberpunk is so like crazy, but not too far like outlandish. And that's kind of like the scary part about it.
Yeah.
Um, I actually went with Outriders.
See, that's really curious. I was literally just thinking about that game and if I felt like it was deserving of any of these awards because it was a really big game that was talked about. And it did have a pretty good little storyline to it, especially immersing it into it with your friends.
Yeah. No, I
And
genuinely like the story and like the curiosity of how it's gonna play out.
and the lore that they kind of left laying around that you could find
Yeah,
and read up on.
yeah,
Yeah, for
super cool,
sure.
man. I mean, it kind of felt like Fallout 4 all over again when you realize that you'd been frozen in that pod for 80 years.
Yeah.
And you're like,
That's
oh shit.
Yeah, that's actually a really fair point. I think that is a game that could definitely be a runner up for that because they did do a really good job of kind of setting up honestly the way it started off. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good, but the more it takes you into the story, it is
Yeah.
really really good. It really pulls you in,
Oh, dude,
and
and some of those cutscenes were insane.
yeah,
So, and actually, they're dropping a free update with like four new areas on that map. So it might be something to revisit.
yeah, I do want to go back to it and play it, but I'd have to get on my PlayStation to play that one.
Yeah.
So kind of cutting on time, but Sit Back and Relax Award. This game is an antidote to a busy day. It's smooth, it's relaxing, it lets your worries melt away. This game is your moment of zen. Uh, this one was actually kind of difficult for me because I was trying to think about what game is actually zen for me. You
Yeah.
know, I have two options here. I want to keep prefacing this because I don't want you guys to think, you know, one of the games I haven't played, but I, I, it's just because I haven't tapped into all these games that have dropped this year. But I have talked about it and seen enough on it that I do feel like it looks like one of those games that would fit this category. But the one that I would have to vote for my own personal preference, again, I think Forza Horizon 5 is a great time killer. There's a lot of races that if you really don't want to get upset, there it's just fun, easy races. Do some A class races. You know what
Easy.
I you know
Wait,
uh
wait,
if
what are
you
you talking about?
if you I feel like the enjoyment of the off-road dirt Baja racing just makes it really fun to play with friends. You can do convoy where you can team up. So even if you're losing, as long as your friend's doing good, you guys might be able to balance that race out and win. So I felt
Yeah.
like it honestly has been my moment of zen in my gaming recently. And
Yeah.
my backup for that one, I think, is a game that's probably well deserving of this kind of title, and that's Riders Republic. I felt like it was a game that had a good amount of hype, and just looks like one of those like skate games or just Tony Hawk, where you're just able to go around and have fun.
Yeah, you
You know,
just do
do
tricks all
whatever you
day.
want to do. Slope, you know, those
Yeah.
style of games where you're just able to kind of free form, go around, have a good time, and not really have to worry too much about getting goals done if you don't
Yeah.
want to.
I actually I have not played Riders Republic, but I am very interested in it because I had a lot of fun with the precursor game, that snowboarding game. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it's called.
Well, that's is it not Slope?
Um, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, because last time I didn't know it, and then you corrected me and told me about it.
Man, it as soon as like we realize it's just gonna hit us.
Steep, not Slope.
Speed.
Steep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were right on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, perfect game. And then they just kind of like added to it, which is really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So
They
I'd
did
be
it.
really excited.
So what about you? What were you thinking about for your game of Zen?
Dude, there's only one game in this world that I'm ever just like cool, calm, and collected in, and it's Minecraft.
I agree, man. That's another one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Well, and I picked it because they just so earlier this year they dropped the first part of the cave update, which is huge. And yesterday they dropped the part two.
Yeah.
So now there's like entirely new animals, new monsters, all kinds of shit in Minecraft now.
I'm gonna buy it for PC.
Oh yeah, make sure don't get the Java edition. I mean, if you want to play together, don't get the Java edition. If you want to play with Mr. Beast, you got to get the Java edition.
What is Mr. Beast?
You don't know who Mr. Beast is?
I don't know. What is Mr. Beast?
Nah, you're fucking playing, dude. There's no way.
Dude, I don't know who Mr. Beast is.
You're being serious?
Yeah, I don't know who Mr. Beast is.
Bro, unfollow this podcast, guys. Mr. Beast is listening right now. Bro,
Sorry.
Mr. Beast, dude, I don't even know. You just have to look up one of his videos. His latest video, he remade Squid Games with 456 people.
So this is a person that creates.
Yeah, it's a YouTuber, and they have Minecraft videos, like all kinds of stuff, like competitions. And his latest one is they did Squid Games, and the winner of Squid Games won $456,000
In real money?
in real money. Yeah, and they just did it in person. Like they bought him green jumpsuits, and the dude's like filthy rich now. Like he had his own Mr. Beast McDonald's burger at one point, kind of like how Travis Scott did. Bro,
Yeah.
look him up. Like watch a Squid Game video.
I will. I think I've probably seen one, but yeah.
His stuff's actually pretty cool. Anyways, they do competitions on Minecraft. You join their Discord, they invite you, and you play for real money. Like every single video, if you like build the sculpture or whatever, he gives you 10 grand.
Like I need to get in there then.
Yeah.
I need to get in there then, boy. I need to get some help.
I mean,
I'm broke. Help me.
Anyways, yes, check him out. But Minecraft was my Zen pick. I mean, perfect game to just kind of log in, build whatever you want, or have a log dirt cabin.
And a game they constantly upgrade or update. Yeah.
Yeah.
The almighty Game of the Year award, people.
I only have one pick, dude. No runner-ups.
I have two picks.
I did this one.
I have two picks. Game of the Year award. Maybe it was an immersive gameplay or a gripping story. It was well-crafted characters, immaculate design, or an addictive multiplayer. Whatever the reason, the winner of this year's Game of the Year award is an instant classic. What are you thinking?
You said you have two, so you gotta give like your runner-up.
Okay, I'll say this. My runner-up for this year's Game of the Year award is Halo Infinite. The reason it's a runner-up is because the actual co-op and stuff doesn't drop until middle of December. And I think that once it drops, or no, it drops not in the middle. I think it drops here soon. The 9th?
December 8th.
8th. Okay. Once it drops, I think my opinion would change. But I think that as it is right now, it's a lot of fun. But I think once co-op, Forge all get brought back into it, it makes it a whole new game. You know what I mean? Like another step up.
Are they adding that stuff?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
They are adding Forge. It's just they said that it's going to take a little bit longer to come
Yeah.
out, but it is coming.
Oh shit, dude! I
Bro,
didn't know
I'm
that.
so hyped
I
for
didn't know
Forge.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
so hyped for Forge, dude. Oh,
And we
dude.
get that game for free.
Yeah. For free, baby. Yeah, and the multi or the story is just going to be awesome. That's what is obviously going to be dropping. You knew about that though once the
Yeah.
game actually officially dropped. So I think that will officially move into game of the year for me once that drops.
Can we do something real fast? It's like we didn't even talk about this.
What's that?
I want you to jump on YouTube real fast and play the brand new Halo Infinite uh the cinematic trailer. Like the one that they just dropped like yesterday or the day before.
I don't know if I'm able to drop or actually play that. Let me see.
I haven't watched it yet. I've seen bits and pieces, but every time they drop a Halo, they drop like a acting one of it.
Mhm.
Like you remember ODSTs when they're in that like paintball arena and it's playing that like Nordic music with the drums and the dudes are just like dying left and right.
Yeah.
Like they did that for this Halo Infinite. And the like clip that I saw just fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to play it though. Because it's on
Okay.
YouTube.
Oh, will they flag it?
Yeah, they'll flag it if it's
Uh
YouTube.
okay. Then it's
But
okay.
I'll watch it when we get out of here. Just guys, make sure if you're listening to this, you go give it a watch because
Yes.
I'll definitely go check it out too. But yeah, YouTube will flag us.
It's all good. That's my bad. I didn't know that.
No, you're good, man. I need to figure all that kind of stuff out, kind of
Yeah.
check into that. But yeah, man, Halo Infinite is just there's a lot going around it right now. TV series is about to drop eventually. And like I said, once all this stuff drops in December with the story mode, I think that it is going to eventually be game of the year for me.
Yeah.
I think it's a strong argument, even right as it is right now, to be game of the year. But I think it needs more substance, and I think the multiplayer will add that.
Yeah.
What was your game of the year, or
You
was
ready?
that your game of the year?
Nope. No, it was not.
Then, given the fact that neither of us have mentioned this game, I think we both have the same game of the year. Maybe.
If we do, I'm gonna be shook, dude.
All
All right.
right.
My vote for game of the year.
2021.
Valheim.
Valheim. Let's go, baby.
No way.
Let's go, baby.
No way.
Valheim.
Yes. Bro.
Let's go.
Instant classic. Its own standalone graphics. Perfect with friends. Calm music. Difficult gameplay. You cannot top that, dude. And they're constantly rolling out with new shit. They got a new game plan. They've already dropped their first DLC. Like,
and they're a small developing like company. It's just a small group of guys that all got together to try to make this happen. And they're hitting all their points on their roadmap on time.
Dude.
They created it to where they were able to take something like Minecraft and make it a story in a way that's not a story in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the bosses are great. They all come with their own biomes. They constantly are coming out with new ways that you can build new things so that you can have, your own unique kind of base. But not only that, but they incorporated a way that you can build with a system that is based on integrity of your buildings, so that you kind of have to like think about it a little bit when you're building your strongholds. Some people don't like that, but I do. It adds another aspect to it that you have to think about. You can't just build a huge tower, and it's unforgiving as hell.
Yeah.
Unforgiving as hell. That's why it was not going to be my like leisure game. It's not by any means possible. I have raged on that, but we literally played with a group of friends recently and wiped out every single boss.
Yeah.
We went through, played, beat every boss except for the very final boss. We haven't done that one yet. We need to get on there and do that, dude. We're like all completely ready for it, I feel like. But
I think we're just like waiting for that perfect moment where we all line up for it.
yeah,
D left
we
on
just beat the
base.
dragon, and so we just need to go to that hand and beat that one.
The king.
Gosh, man, wow. I was like, man, he didn't pick Halo. Okay, maybe we both have Valheim. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Valheim.
That's
Okay.
insane, dude. We are always on the same wave, bro.
And to some people this may be crazy because it's not a game that necessarily is like story enriched, if you will. It's not a game that is the best of the graphics, but to me it is, because it purposefully has that old nostalgic like PlayStation like graphics where it kind of takes you back, and the graphics actually are really beautiful for what they are. You know,
Yeah.
you go into these dense forests, you go up these mountains, and it's so immersive when you play with friends, to a point where you all can have a job. You can have the person that's getting the wood. You can have the person that's out there collecting the resources. You can have the person that's out there hunting, the person that's building. I mean, there is enough stuff for everybody to do. And then you go out and explore, and it's so big, the map.
Yeah.
I
Insane, dude.
I I don't think that we're going to be, supported in that decision by the large majority of some of the other people. I think you'll get to people that think Vanguard is game of the year, people that think,
Well, I'm
uh,
also not 12, so.
oh God, there we go. But you know what I mean? Like, I just think that there's going to be those multiplayer FPS that are going to get a lot of votes. But to me, Valheim, for what they accomplished this year, has done an incredible job. And for what they did, bravo. And
Well,
to me,
yeah.
that's why.
Well, half the battle this entire year of gaming is drop a game on release that doesn't suck and that you have to work on after release.
Yeah.
They didn't have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was like minute things that they had to
yeah.
change. Like nothing like big that like messed up your game, just like little things like, hey, this little kind of thing keeps like happening whenever I do this. I don't know if you guys want to try to fix it. It's not really that big of a deal. Like there was never anything that's like this is unplayable if
Yeah,
I
it's
do
not
this.
game breaking.
Yeah. But that's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely my game of the year. I'm glad to hear it's your game of the year as well.
That's hilarious, dude. I did not. I thought I was gonna blindside you with that one.
Yeah. that's hilarious. No, I was like the whole time I'm like, bro, he has not mentioned Valheim yet. I was like
I
sitting there
know.
thinking.
Save
But
it.
guys, we got to wrap it up here shortly. So our own awards, things that I thought that didn't make the cut that I thought should, or not necessarily that in particular, but titles, awards that didn't make it. I thought there should have been a best horror game award. And for that one, there's 3 that I thought could have made the cut. One of my favorite ones of this year was Phasmophobia. It was great to play with friends. It was easy going, a good little jump scare, had its own little kind of series of things you had to do if you wanted to figure out what the ghost was. Again, I'm not a big horror game player, so I know that there's plenty other out there. There's some really scary stuff I've seen this year, and so this is just me throwing out some that I played this year horror wise that I thought were really good. Resident Evil Village being another one that we mentioned, and then Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares had a
I played
huge
that
film.
one, dude. That one's scary as shit.
Yeah, so that one definitely had a lot. I don't know if you have any other horror games you thought that might be
No, I
deserve.
think you covered all the scary ones.
Yeah, so there's obviously some other ones out there that I'm sure that you guys have been playing. I've seen some other people play, but yeah.
What's that one where they're in the morgue? I see it on
Oh yeah,
TikTok
yeah,
all
yeah,
over the
yeah.
place.
Yeah,
Bruh, fuck that
morgue or
game.
something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's like looking at you through the window, and the dude's like walking around. Oh God! Yeah, and then I
Yeah.
seen like one where he's like walking around the table, and the dude that's like playing doesn't even realize that there's like a person sitting on top of like the cabinet, and then he like is walking, and so it cuts like you got to imagine he's like looking like here, and like the person in his peripheral is just right above his eyesight, and so he stops and he's like, bro, there's a foot. He's like, is that a leg? Guys, I'm not fucking looking. Is there a person on top of that cabinet? And the chat's just like blowing up, and he's like, he just turns around and runs, and it's just like the scariest thing. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm playing that. No way.
Yeah,
Absolutely no way.
the video I saw, he was like pushing the dead body onto the table to do whatever the task is, and like he heard a loud bang down the hall, so he like turned around, and whenever he comes back, the dead chick is just like, "You're gonna die in here," and then like this like folds, and she's like, "Oh, what do you mean?"
Yeah, dude,
and then he turns around the giant shadow things in the hallway.
Dude, hell no, bro.
Dude,
That I would turn the game off.
God, dude,
That gives me chills thinking about it, and I'm not even lying. Games that didn't make the cut that I thought maybe should, or not necessarily that I thought that should, but I thought were like big releases that just weren't mentioned. Monster Hunter Rise was one that definitely came out, had a lot of hype around it. I don't know if it really ended up doing that great. Another one that was like pretty big that I didn't feel like we mentioned was you'll have to help me out on this one. It was actually a Switch game, so I know that's not going to be in the Steam Awards, but it was a game that was pretty big. But it was one of the Mario games.
Mario game that just came out.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Is it Paper Mario?
No, I can't remember. Not I won't.
Oh, wait, is it the one where you're like the giant cat? Bowser's Fury?
Maybe.
It came in a pack with 3D World, which was just a remake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that it was a Mario game, but there's a big possibility that I'm just an idiot, which is actually probably more on the right side of it. But another game that I thought that we didn't mention that I actually seen some people reference that was for the game that the developers spent a lot of time on crafting was Stardew Valley. And what was the other one that you guys were playing that was real popular on Switch?
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing, another one.
Yeah, I love Animal Crossing.
So I don't know, just some other games I thought about mentioning.
Yeah.
Any that you might have thought about that came out this year that you thought got left out just because it just did terrible?
I mean, there's plenty that did terrible. Even technically, our beloved Battlefield is technically terrible.
Yeah, 20 like less than 30% approval rate.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. I mean, I don't blame anybody because we need to start holding these guys accountable.
Yeah.
You know, we pay a lot of money for these games and for them to just drop them. I mean, and I understand bugs. You know, bugs are going to come. I'm used to that with DICE anyways. But, you know, I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole we've been on many times, but I agree with you. But guys, I want to know, what do you guys think about our opinion? What are your guys' opinions on games that you think? I think another category that we didn't dive into that could be a good one is the best indie game of 2021. I think that they have a right to have their own award as well.
For the King.
Yeah, For the King. Great option. You know, there's just a lot of games. Just looking over even my Steam playlist, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that game downloaded. So what games do you guys think were worthy of being mentioned for these awards? What are some of your guys's, and for sure, what do you guys think is game of the year? We've already heard some of our fans say that Resident Evil Village is what they would have picked for their game of the year. So let us know in the comments. We appreciate everybody for joining us today. Listen, if you guys are just listening, you guys can head on over to YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, helps the algorithm, helps get us noticed and recognized. We really appreciate that. And if you're watching, You can also go drop a review, like us on Apple, do all that fun stuff. Again, it just helps us know our reach and the people that we are kind of growing for an audience so that we can kind of help keep pushing content out to you guys. So let us know what you think. Drop a review. And look, I just want to thank you guys for joining us for another episode and look forward to you guys seeing you guys next episode, as well as we will try to dive into some of this stuff that's been coming out. Hopefully by then we'll be able to talk a little bit more about Halo Infinite and some of the multiplayer or some of the co-op type of storyline stuff that's going to be dropping with that. So anything else from you, Mr. Toxic?
Yeah, bro. Go ahead and leave us a comment on the category of best car with rockets category, and we'll just come back with that.
Yeah, just drop that, whatever that means, whatever he's talking about.
It's a category, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm done ranting. You guys know the deal. No matter where you are or whatever we're playing, we hope that we can get you one step closer to clutching that dub. We'll see you guys. Peace.
See you guys later. Thanks for listening.
Have a good one.